Okay, I don't know, I think it's now it's recording. Okay, right. First of all, before we start talking about topic 2, I just want you to know the difference between the word atoms, molecules, elements, compounds. What's the difference between these words? Mixture. We have to know the difference between these words. Right. First of all, if I'm going to ask you what's an element, what's an atom, what's a compound, let's start by the word atom. Atom, it's the smallest one, the smallest building unit of any element or if any compound. Yani if I'm going, let's say, to talk about carbon dioxide. Let me change the color. If I'm having carbon dioxide is formed of how many atoms? It's formed of carbon with 2 oxygen atoms. This means, and it's formed from how many atoms? 3. Am I right? 1 carbon with 2 oxygen atoms. Which one is, what is the building unit, or what is the smallest unit في الكومباوند ده كله؟ هي الاتوم اللي هي 1 carbon atom و 2 oxygen atoms. Usually if I'm going to ask you what's an atom, الاتوم هي smallest unit in any compound or any element. It's the smallest one. طيب, what about, this is the word atom, هي أصغر unit. طيب, what about بقى the difference between the word element و compound? If I'm going to ask you, let's say, I want you to tell me what's the difference between مثلا oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, okay, and the word carbon dioxide, water, ammonia, methane, and so on, fluorine, chlorine. What's the difference between the first column and the second column? What's the difference? Who can tell me?
Can I teach this?
Sure. Hey, Kunus, tell me.
Alright, elements كلهم of same type، يعني oxygen بس oxygen مش معاه حاجة ثانية، إنما column 2 في كمان different type of element، عشان كده ده difference between the element and the compound.
That's true. Once I'm having same type of element, once in all of them they are of the same type, I'm going to call this element. But what about if they are of different types? Here and I have not all of them is oxygen. لا. I have carbon و oxygen, or I have hydrogen و oxygen, or nitrogen و hydrogen, or carbon و hydrogen. Since you have 2 different types, this means, madam, I have different types, this means automatic, and this is a compound. All these, they are good examples for compounds because they have different types of atoms. As I said, carbon or oxygen, hydrogen or oxygen, nitrogen or hydrogen. Since you have different types, this is compounds. But here, all these are atoms because all these are elements. Why? Hydrogen or hydrogen, so it's the same type. Nitrogen or nitrogen, so it's the same type. Oxygen or oxygen, it's the same type. These are elements, so these are compounds. Okay, if you have any question, please, I can repeat, just ask. Okay, طيب, these are elements. If they ask me, there was a question before, they was asking what's meant by element. So I'm going to say it is the substance formed of one type of atom. Type. What about the word compound? These are different types of elements, as you see. Copper, carbon, helium, all of them, it's single type of atom. Type. What about? Who's raising his hand? Yes. Do you have a question? Yes, Amor. Rowan, do you have questions or just you're raising your hand?
No, just answering.
Okay. So, for sure, if I'm going to talk about compound, I'm going to say it's made of atoms, but so all of them, they are not the same element. It's different element. We're joining together by the chemical bond. Once you have different atoms and join together with bonds, we're going to call them compounds. As I told you, like water, carbon dioxide, because they have different types, but this means it's a compound. Right. What about the word molecule? Exactly, Ayuya, that's true. Correct. Good job. Right. What about the word molecule? If I'm going to talk about the word molecule, molecule بقى, if you are going to have مثلا, let's say, usually we say it على non-metals. The word molecule, we usually say it about non-metals. We don't usually say molecules about metals. Usually we call مثلا, let's say I have OO, NON, HOH, so on. We can call it a molecule. Since you are having same element but joined together وهم non-metals, we can call them molecule. like oxygen molecule, nitrogen molecule, hydrogen molecule. The last one بقى is mixture. What's a mixture? هي mixture you are mixing more than one substance together بس هي completely different عن ال compound. يعني what's the difference between the word compound and the word mixture? Compound, this means, as I said, you are having, let's say, carbon or oxygen. Who want to say? Hey, Kamal, tell me. Kamal, you want to answer? Do you know the answer? Kamal, you were raising your hand, I think. طيب. Ammar, you know the answer?
When substances are combined, but not chemically.
When substance combine, yes, but are they chemically bonded to each other or they are just mixed?
Just mixed.
Exactly, that's true. Good job. يعني once I'm having elements. Exactly, يا كمال, bravo, good job. Exactly, you are correct. If I'm having elements, these elements are joined together, let's say carbon or oxygen. If I'm having water, so H and O, ammonia and H. If these elements are combining together, if they are combining together, but chemically bonded, what do I mean by chemically bonded? Chemically bonded, it means إن هما there is a bond between them. مش بس معمل لهم mix، لا. They are chemically bonded together. Once يرونا إن هما chemically bonded together, يبقى this means it's a compound. طب what about mixture? لا. هي mixture you are putting more than one substance but they are not chemically bonded. لا هم بس معمل لهم mix مع بعض بس ما فيش bonds بينهم. Same like what? زي الكانديز كده. عارفين if you're going to put مثلا candies أو these مثلا you put these together. What will happen? You can separate them easily. No, there is no bond between them. انتوا بس عاملين لهم mix. زي بالظبط لما بنروح اللي هو في المولز وناخد كانديز ناخد كده باج ونحط فيها different candies. It's the same. This is a mixture. It's not a compound. Why it's a mixture and not a compound? Because you are mixing the sweets or the candies together. So you can separate them. يبقى once that they just mix, you can separate them. Exactly, Alia. That's true. And you can separate them. يبقى this means على طول إنه it's a mixture ومش compound. Yes, يا أروى. Tell me.
هاي مس
هلو يا روحي موري.
عايزة أسأل هو انت بتعرفي ازاي انها it's chemically bonded ولا لأ ولا في حاجات معينة؟
I will tell you. It's an excellent question. بصي chemically bonded إن أنت you cannot separate it. يعني مثلا الكومباوند ده انت لو جيتي عملتي evaporation ولا filtration ولا distillation whatever الحاجه البروسيس اللي هتعمليها can you separate the carbon from the oxygen ولا hydrogen from the oxygen ولا nitrogen from the hydrogen? Can you? يعني if you get carbon dioxide you started heating it ولا filtration ولا whatever can you separate them from each others? Do you think so?
لا.
You cannot.
I don't think.
Exactly. يبقى this means إن هما chemically bonded to each others because you cannot separate them. Since you cannot separate them, يبقى this means إن هما chemically bonded to each other. طيب أمال what about mixture? Mixture it means like water and salt. إحنا topic 2 بقى كله بيتكلم عن mixture. مثلا water and sand, water and salt. You can separate them ولا you cannot? What do you think? Since إن هما water and sand or water and salt, water and oil. All these are mixture. You can or you cannot. يعني if you make filtration or evaporation or whatever, do you think you can separate them?
No, because they are irreversible.
You cannot. يعني أنت لو عندك water or sand or water or salt, you cannot. Yes, يا عليا, that's true. ها?
لا, I think you can with filtration.
For sure, exactly. That's true. You can separate them. برافو صح يا ملوكة. Hello يا ملوكة, I missed you. That's true. You can separate them طبعا for sure. فsince you can separate them على طول أقول إيه؟ Once إن أنا I can separate them يبقى I'm going to say إن this is a mixture. تمام؟ Clear? ها any question? Okay.
لا
ماشي. يلا let's continue. طيب now خلاص we know the difference between the mixtures والelement والcompound. طيب topic 2 ده it's talking about what? It's talking about all the mixtures that we have in our lives mostly. الsoluble بقى والinsoluble وكل ال types of mixture. يعني we will start knowing which type of mixture أو how can I separate the different types of mixture. طيب بسم الله كده let's start. Let's say مثلا I have water and sand. How can I separate it? Water and salt. How can I separate it? Water and oil. How can I separate it? Let's say water with ethanol. And so on. I have different types of mixtures I want to separate them from each other. طب هعمل ايه يا ملوك? In a very easy way, I have two different I'm going to tell you how to think. Number one, you have to think, what is the type of mixture? This is number one. Check. What is the type of mixture? يعني ايه what's the type of mixture? Is it soluble? Is it insoluble? يعني does this substance dissolve in water? The word soluble, it means is it soluble in water ولا it's not soluble? فأنا مثلا let's say I'm having water and sand. Water and sand, this means إنها soluble ولا in?
Sand
insoluble.
is insoluble in
Insoluble.
water.
Exactly, برافو. Water and sand, it's insoluble in water. طب water وsalt? Good job الناس اللي
soluble.
answer في الشات.
Soluble.
Good job. صح, correct, soluble, برافو. That's true. ف thank you يا رونا حطيتي الشات جروب تاني ربنا يخليك يا رب والله. ف since إنه I'm talking about that's true. إنه whatever بقى ال type of mixture, this is the first point we have to think of. إنه is this substance soluble? Is it insoluble? And so on. You have to think about it. حبيبتي. You have to think about a type of mixture. This is number one. Type number two, what you have to think about, you have to think which substance you are interested in. I'm telling you how you think, huh? This is not in the book, yeah. Which substance you are interested in? You are interested in. What do I mean by which substance I'm interested in? يعني let's say مثلا I have water or salt. We are going to know today إنه if I need, لو أنا عندي mixture من إيه يا ملوكة؟ من water وsalt. If I need the water, I'm going to do a certain process وهنشوف. If I need the salt, I'm going to do another different way. يعني the substance you are interested in في المixture هيفرق معايا which way I'm going to do it. يعني let's say لو أنا عندي water وsalt. If you do evaporation, which one will evaporate? Which one will remain? Imagine with me كده إن this was water or salt. You will start heating. Exactly. صح يا أيوة بس it's not a filtrate, take care. And I'm not doing filtration, I'm doing evaporation now. Exactly. What will happen, as you said, all the water will evaporate. Okay, all the salt will remain. That's true. Okay, يبقى this means in which substance I'm interested in. من ال substance اللي أنا I want now هي أكيد السولت لأن الwater خلاص already evaporated. You got the point? This what I mean exactly يا رونا. يبقى this what I mean. يبقى once هنشوف بقى if I need the water I'm going to do a different process. Okay, that's why I'm saying يبقى عشان أعرف which way I'm going to use I have to think في separation techniques عن ال type of mixture هو soluble ولا insoluble و which substance I'm interested in. طيب let's start كده. The first way يلا guess. If I'm having water with sand or water with mud, what is going to be the way? Let's see how many students.
Miss?
Yes, good job. All of you are answering.
May you
good
admit
job.
Kunuz?
Excuse me?
May you admit Kunuz?
I admitted her والله.
Thanks
But
much, Miss.
maybe you're welcome يا روحي. I think بس it's taking time. But I already accept it. Okay, طيب. Let's start. As you said, if I'm having water and mud, no يا كنوز. I'm saying water and mud. Or water and sand. What shall I do? I'm going, if I'm having water and mud, or water and sand, What shall I do? I'm going to start doing filtration. That's, yes, okay. So I'm going to do filtration. طيب يبقى this means إنه filtration is used in which type of mixture? Soluble mixture ولا insoluble mixture? Who can tell me? Water and mud دول soluble ولا insoluble? Exactly, برافو. Insoluble mixture, that's true, برافو. يبقى this means إن this is used إن الفلتration is used in insoluble mixture. يعني it's a mixture بس insoluble. طب الناس اللي مش عارفة what do I mean by the word insoluble? Insoluble يعني they don't dissolve. Okay? طيب what shall I do? Who can tell me كده how I do filtration? Number one, what shall I do? I'm going to put what here? What do we call this? Good job, bravo. I'm going to put here, this is called a funnel. Layer this one. I'm going to put a funnel. Then what shall I do, Abdullah? I'm going to put inside what? A filter paper. Oh, this one. Yeah, I'm going to get a funnel. And then I'm going to put a filter paper inside it. Then I will put my mixture here. Let's say water and mud, water and sand, anything that is insoluble. What do you expect? What will go down or what will be kept up? هنا في الفلتر في الفانل في سوري في الفلتر بيبر. ها what do you think?
Water will go down.
Exactly, that's true. Bravo, that's true. I'm going to find in the water is going to go down. Okay, and what's going to be up here? This is the mud or the sand. يبقى usually the substance that is soluble will go down like water. اللي هي liquid يعني it will go down. لكن any substance that was insoluble زي المud أو sand will be kept up. طيب what do I call? بصوا بقى ركزوا معايا في التريكي question ده. It's usually in Edexcel or in Cambridge. If he asks you which one, شطوري أيوي, good job. Which one is the residue? Which one is the filtrate? What do you think? Yani if I'm having the word, I want you to choose this one and this one. Which one is the residue? Which one is the filtrate? Choose. Good job, bravo. Good job, excellent. بالظبط. As you wrote in the chat, إنه what's up, the mud here, it's called a residue. What do I mean by the word residue? Residue, it means the remaining, يعني الحاجة الباقية, البقايا يعني. لكن the water down, I'm going to call it filtrate. Why filtrate? Because you filtrate, it means it filtrate. يعني خلاص I removed all the sand or all the mud from it, nothing enough except except بس الwater. يعني كل الساند is going to be kept up. والحاجة الوحيدة اللي فاضلة down exactly يا ملوك, برافو. what's down بس هو الفلتريت. Any question? Okay. طيب, let's start the next one. What about if I'm having water and salt? What do you think? This is number 2. If I'm having water and salt mixture, well, I need the salt. This is the substance I'm interested in. What shall I do? Exactly, bravo, that's true. Take care يا كنوز. I need if water ماشي. Okay, I need a salt. Correct يا محمد, bravo. That's true. If I have water and if I have water this is water with salt. Exactly, Ayuya, that's true. What shall I do? I'm going to start heating. Once I started heating, all the water will evaporate. Exactly, Hamza, bravo, good job. All the water will evaporate. Who will be still there? Only the salt, as you see here. يبقى the salt بس هي اللي will remain. يبقى like this I separated the water from the salt واحتفظت بالايه خلاص I saved my salt. Exactly. برافو يا كنوز. يبقى this when do I say the word evaporation? When I need the salt. Okay, like I don't need the water. شوية كده هناخد بقى if I need the water what we are going to do. طيب. You can say evaporation, and if I need my salt in the form of crystals, what should I do? I'm going to do something called crystallization. What's crystallization? Exactly, bro. What's crystallization بقى? I'm going to explain it, then I'm going to show you a video for crystallization. Pay attention بقى. If I'm having برضو water and salt, but this time, exactly يا كنوز. This time I don't need the water normal. I need the crystals. I need the crystals in the form. I need the salt in the form of crystals. How I'm going to do this? Pay attention بقى because crystallization is very important. Number one, what shall I do? I need my salt. مش يبقى salt powder كده normal. لا أنا عايزة السولت بتاعي يبقى in the form of crystals. طب how I will do that? Number one, you are going to get a beaker. And then you are going to put water. Okay? And then you are going to put the salt that you want to make crystals of. Let's say, مثلا, in the example that we will take salt called copper sulfate. It's a powder, كده, blue powder. يبقى I'm going to put the water and I'm going to add the salt. But I will not بقى put little amount of salt. لا. I will put too much salt, not small amount. لا. I will put too much from the salt. Okay, Mohamed, any salt. I'm going just to give you this salt because this salt is a colored one. It's a blue one. That's why. يعني. I will show you now in the video. Okay, فأنا I'm going to put water and I'm going to put a salt. Let's say copper sulfate. Okay, well, I will start dissolving it. The point is in I'm not going to put small amount of salt. لا, I'm going to put excess, يعني a lot of salt until no more salts can dissolve. خلاص لا بدأت ألاقي طبعا ببقى عاملة شوية heating at the beginning so that you can more salts can dissolve يعني. At the end I'm going to find some salts is going to be here they are not dissolved anymore. خلاص. This is the solution. وهبدأ ألاقي إن في salts هنا they are not dissolving. خلاص. طب why some salts are not dissolving? طب ما أنا still I'm dissolving them. Why? Because these are the water molecules. For once you start putting salts, the salts خلاص fill all the spaces. No more spaces. So that's why I'm going to say إنه my mixture is already saturated. يعني no more spaces. خلاص. No more spaces can take the salt. خلاص. So in this case, I'm going to say in my solution is a saturated solution. I'm going to say in my solution is a saturated solution. What do I mean by the word saturated solution? Saturated solution, evaporating salt are left in what? Evaporating in the powder, normal. But here, I'm going to leave it in the form of crystals. You will see now. Exactly, Amor. That's true. You are going to heat till you reach a point of crystallization. Oh, I'm going to start heating. Once you heat, you will heat till point of crystallization. What do I mean by point of crystallization? يعني خلاص, all the crystals are going to start to form. This is very important. كلمة دايما في past papers. لما نقول heat, we will take 1 mark. لما نقول till point of crystallization, you will take the 2nd mark. I will tell you what do I mean by the word point of crystallization. But now I put the water and I put the salt. I started heating them. I stirred so that they dissolve. لحد ما خلاص I found salt starts to be down. خلاص. This means that my solution becomes a saturated solution. يجي هو في الإكزام ويقول لي what's meant by saturated solution? It's a 2-mark question. What shall I say بقى يا عليا? What do I mean يا عمار by saturated solution? You are going to say it is the solution in the no more salts. No more salts can dissolve. No more salts. This is the answer in the mark section. No more salts can dissolve يا عبد الله. But if you say no more salts can dissolve يا ملوك, you will take 1 mark. Exactly, Ayuya. At a certain temperature. If you didn't say at a certain temperature, you will miss 1 mark. It's very important to continue your sentence. Once again, once I'm talking about a saturated solution, I'm going to say no more salts can dissolve at a certain temperature. يعني while I was heating at this temperature exactly, no more salts will dissolve. طب then what will happen after I started heating them وخلاص it becomes a saturated solution? How do I know إنه خلاص I reached the point of crystallization? when the point of crystallization يعني خلاص salts are going to start forming crystals. طب how do I know؟ بعمل ايه؟ باخد الستيرر ده واخد منه some drops كده من الليكويد من السولز اللي تحت دي واحطها هنا على اي watch glass or something like that. If I found the crystals بدأت خلاص already it's formed على الwatch glass, يبقى this means إنه خلاص أنا I reached the point of crystallization, then I'm going to start cooling بقى. خلاص I will leave it to cool. هسيب السوليوشن يحصل له cooling. خلاص يبقى أنا كده وصلت point of crystallization و I'm okay. I'm going to cool. Once I will cool, you will find بقى الكريستالز بتاعتي أهو. You're going to find إنه this is the solution. You're going to find بحط كده أي roll أو pencil. You will find all the crystals will be formed here. Oh, like this here. I will show you now in the video. كده يبقى this means إنه again يعني حاضر. I'm saying إنه once I started heating خلاص أنا بقعد أعمل heating okay لحد ما السوليوشن بتاعي واعمل adding واحط salts كتير لحد ما السوليوشن لحد ما السوليوشن يبقى خلاص no more salts can dissolve. once no more salts can dissolve بقول ان انا am a saturated solution. طيب انا exactly البوينت اللي هعرف عندها انه خلاص انا I reached the point of crystallization. بعرف ازاي؟ انا ليه عايز اعرف when do I reach point of crystallization? to leave it to cool عشان اسيبها تبرد بقى خلاص اوقف. طب انا هعرف منين ان انا I reached the point of crystallization؟ باخد كده سامبل، باخد عينه كده من السولتس اللي موجوده جوه واحطها هنا على ويتش جلاس. if I find السولتس بردت كده وعملت كول وبقت على شكل كريستالز يبقى this means ان احنا فعلا وصلنا للبوينت اوف crystallization. لو لقيتها لسه it didn't form crystals يبقى انا لسه شويه I will leave it لسه I will continue heating a little bit more. تمام؟ then don't forget usually when you say see crystallization you usually do cooling. يعني اعمل heating then cooling عشان كل الولاد usually they forgot to write the word cool. Please never forget this. يعني once you are doing heating البروسيس بتاعت crystallization once you are doing heating يبقى then you have to do cooling على طول. طيب I finished cooling then خلاص هحط هنا as I told you pen أو pencil and you are going to find the crystals will be formed. طبعا بسيبها 3-4 days يعني مش بسيبها مثلا 1 hour ولا 2 hours لا، كل ما ابقى عايزه الكريستالز بتاعتي تكون bigger crystals كل ما I'm going to leave it more time. يعني ممكن احنا لما كنا بنعمل الكريستاليزيشن دي we usually leave it مثلا 3-4 days 5 days. كل ما بنسيبها more time كل ما بنلاقي الكريستالز is bigger. وبعدين بعمل لها filter. after that I'm going to filter them. why؟ عشان اتاكد ان no more liquid معهاش اي water ولا حاجه. فnow all the crystals are here. then I'm going to wash them. then I'm going to dry them. to dry the crystals. I will show you now. I wash them طبعا بسمول amount of water يعني بجيب شويه distilled water كده. اللاب usually we use in the lab distilled water اللي هي الميه المقطره. we usually use a distilled water in the lab. then once I'm going to wash with distilled water وطبعا small amount of water مش هاخدهم بقى دش يعني لا هو just small amount كده of distilled water and then I'm going to dry them. طيب there was a question قبل كده how can I dry the crystals? I have many ways. You can leave them in a warm place. You can dry them بفلتر paper. You can dry them in an oven. You can dry them with a kitchen towel. All these answers they are written in the mark scheme. يعني you can say dry them in an oven, dry them with a filter paper, dry them in a by filter paper, oven, any of these. All these are correct. Like this, you have your salt in the form of crystals. I will show you now on the YouTube so that you can imagine.
Miss, may I have a question, please?
Sure.
في يعني كنت قبل كده سمعت يعني
Yes, I can hear you.
إنه في specific questions بنكتبها كباراجراف و questions تانية بنكتبها كpoints. هل كده يعني ولا يعني هو مش يعني عادي ولا يعني ما ينفعش نعمل كده؟
طب wait 1 minute بس هعمل skip لده. wait 1 minute. قولي بقى again please معلش. repeat your question.
بس أنا بقول لحضرتك في يعني ناس كانت بتقول في teachers بيقولوا إنه المفروض في questions بتتكتب bullet point.
exactly that's true. بس احنا usually طريقة الدراينج بتاعت السولتس احنا بنتكلم عنها in details not in this topic. when we take في topic later on ان شاء الله في نص السيلبس كده اسمه acid و bases و oxides وبعد كده preparation of salt. when we take preparation of salt في التوبيك بتاع preparation of salt ده بناخد how to dry the salts in details. بس here احنا just we give the idea يعني because this is at the beginning of the syllabus. بس that's true فعلا يعني في some salts ما ينفعش اعمل لهم drying in an oven. They will be burned أو they will melt. لكن في other salts most of the salts ممكن نعمل لهم drying بفلتر paper مثلا. This is one of the very common very common ways of drying يعني. Okay. يلا let's see the video. So this man, what's this? This is he will do crystallization now. What's this? This is water, okay? But يعني هو water and he put in it some copper sulfate salt. As I told you, this is a salt. Not all salts يا جماعة بتبقى لونها white salts. عشان most of the students they usually think إنه since it's a salt تبقى white. لا, it's not a must. Since it's a salt, it could be colored. في salts كتير colored عادي. They are not يعني we don't eat them. في some salts we don't eat. Not all salts like the salt we eat. Yeah. This was water and he put some salt in it. And then as I told you, you have to put a lot of salt because you want crystals. So you are going to put a lot of salt. Check. Also, this is the tripod that I told you last class. If you remember, this was the tripod. You see, tripod. It means 3 legs, as you see. Pod, tri it means 3 وpod it means legs. This is the tripod. It looks like a small table كده so that you can use in burning. This is the goes that through which you can put a beaker up. And this is the Bunsen burner طبعا. Or spirit burner. أو spirit burner أو Bunsen burner and you will start. طيب no more salts as you see. I'm going to still add salt لحد no more salts can dissolve. There was a question before. How do you know إنه you reached a saturated solution? إزاي عرفت إنه خلاص السوليوشن اتملى بقى على الآخر saturated? Who can tell me? إنه no more salts إيه؟ will dissolve.
You can dissolve much more salt.
Exactly. That's true. No more salt. بالظبط. No more salts will dissolve. I'm going to start finding إيه يا أروى؟ إن the salts will remain down here in the beaker. يبقى this means إن أنا I reached a saturated solution. That's true. Correct يا علي. طيب. This man, he made a fatal mistake. What did he do? He stirred the salt by a spoon. This is a fatal mistake. Never, طبعا in the lab, احنا لو بنتكلم بقى scientifically, never to steer the salt بسpoon. Usually we steer, as we said last class, بالsteerer, ها؟ فإيه؟ يعني this is not something scientific. هو is just doing the experiment. بس في الاكسبيرمنت usually بنعمل steering بالsteerer مش بالسبون. اوكي؟ طيب. لو بصوا still adding لحد ما بقى ايه؟ saturated. خلاص no more. هو يا عمار هو ده السيكونس ده الصح. يعني scientifically ده الصح. And then I'm going to leave it ايه بقى to cool. بصوا. مستعدين؟ Can't wait, ها؟ يلا. با. Let's see what will happen. You see? Magic. It's amazing, really. Yani, to find the crystals like this, you got the crystals in the form, your salts in the form of crystals. Yes, yeah, that's true. Correct. Yes, solubility for sure will increase by reacting. That's true. As you see here, after I steer it, not with the spoon as I told you, because scientifically we have to do with a steerer, اللي هي glass rod steering rod, because as I told you before, maybe the metal, if you are making مثلا spoon, sometimes it's a metal spoon. The metal spoon may react with the solution you are doing. So that's why we never use a spoon, never in the lab. Okay, it may react with your advanced coppers. No, يا خنوش. Okay, so as you see, now you see, we formed crystals. Once we have the crystals, we are going to filter them first, so that if they have any water, it will be removed. Then I'm going to wash. Then I will dry. Any question? Okay. Right. Let's talk about number 3, which is very easy. If I told you about it last class. If I have a water oil mixture, how can you separate it? I'm just going to say it again so that if any students were not with us last class, to revise it. Yeah.
Can I answer, teacher?
Sure.
This uses separating funnel.
Exactly, separating funnel. That's true. No, ya Alia, this is the second class. This is the second lesson. Yes, this is topic 2. If you're talking about topics, this is topic 2. No, not fractional distillation, ya Ammar. La. If you are having water and oil, هم الwater and oil دول, are they soluble or insoluble mixture?
Insoluble.
Exactly. طيب. Okay. طيب. هل أنا المفروض shall I say إن هم they are insoluble؟ هم فعلا هم insoluble، يعني الwater والoil they don't dissolve. بس since إن هم both of them are liquids, I'm not going to say insoluble. لا, I'm going to say immiscible. What do I mean by the word immiscible? When I have, I'm gonna send this PDF. Yes, Yarimu. Yes, I'm going to send the PDF on the WhatsApp group. I'm going to, once we finish the class, I'm going to send the record of this class. I'm going to put it in Google Drive, or I'm going to send the link for the Google Drive on the WhatsApp group. So if you are not on the WhatsApp group, you can just, Erwan, she sent it 100 times on the chat. So you can just take the, you can just take the, join the group, the WhatsApp group. Erwan, she sent it again. Thank you, Aruna. I have 2 groups because one of the groups already is finished. Yes, yes, teacher is the group chemistry lovers. Oh, there, yes. Because I want you all to be chemistry lovers, same like me. I want you to enjoy chemistry, same like me. So that's why أنا بس هو في جروب اللي هو chemistry lovers ده خلاص already full. So that's why I made chemistry lovers 2. وببعت عليه same، يعني مش هتلاقوا أي difference. الناس الموجودة في chemistry lovers مش لازم تكون في chemistry lovers 2. أنا بس عشان أكمل، عشان النمبر بس، ما شاء الله كتير. You're enjoying chemistry. Thank you يا كنوز، والله يا رب دايما. كان في حد بعت question. You're most welcome يا ريمو. Yes, في حد بعت question. Miss, I have a question. Since oil and water don't dissolve in each other, is it considered diffusion mix? لا. No يا كمال. Should you gonna send this PDF? خلاص I answered this. يا رب دايما يا رونا. I hope that all of you enjoy chemistry والله. It's my pleasure بجد. يعني أكتر حاجة بتفرحني في الدنيا إن ألاقي حد بيقول لي I enjoyed chemistry، مش بقيت بس excellent في الكيمستري. دي أكتر حاجة بجد، يعني السنتنس دي أكتر جملة بتفرحني بجد يعني. يا رب دايما. So if I'm going to say immiscible, if I'm having immiscible liquid, as I said, what do I mean by immiscible? Immiscible يعني they don't mix. يعني if you are having water and oil, you're going to find that the oil is up and the water is down. ليه؟ لأن هما they will not mix together. عارفين زي بالظبط إيه؟ If I'm making chicken، يعني imagine كده إن دي chicken، مش I'm not going to draw it بقى. When your mother makes chicken, what happens? And she is boiling a chicken, she's putting some water. Usually بنلاقي drops of oil كده up، صح؟ Usually we find drops of oil كده لو تفتكروا. This means إن oil والwater they don't mix. حتى لو عملنا steering, if they steer them, they are not going to mix عشان هم عندهم different densities. الwater والoil. That's why you're going to find that the oil is going to be up. طب what will happen بقى? How I'm going to do it? You are going to start. هحط ده اللي انتوا شايفينه ده. This is called a separating funnel. The separating funnel ده, you just do what يا ملوك. You will open the tap. Who will go out? Water. Who will remain up? Oil. Then once you will find oil will start to go down, close the tap. No more oil. يعني خلاص, I just want the water to be down. Okay? فلايك this I said لأنه طبعا الwater transparent طبعا colorless والoil بيبقى yellow. فأول ما الاقي اللاير بتاعت oil will start to go down, you will close the tap. يبقى like this you separated the water from the oil. Easy? Okay? طيب again the word miscible و immiscible. كلمة immiscible usually we say soluble و insoluble. مش تبقوا عارفين برضه عشان this is very important. When I say soluble و insoluble, we usually say it امتى؟ when I'm talking about حاجة solid مع حاجة liquid. يعني when I talk about one substance is a solid و the other is a liquid, لو هم soluble في بعض يبقى بيدوبوا في بعض, they dissolve يعني, بقول عليهم soluble. لو مش بيدوبوا زي مثلا water و mud هقول insoluble. طيب امال immiscible و immiscible. كلمة miscible و immiscible دايما usually I'm going to say it لا يا كنوز برضه wrong. I'm going to say immiscible و miscible لما يكونوا both of them are liquids. يعني مش liquid و solid, لا, لما يكونوا two liquids together. لما once I have two liquids together, exactly صح. When I have two liquids together, I'm going to say the word miscible و immiscible. حسب بقى هم بيتعمل لهم mix مع بعض ولا لا. يعني مثلا water و oil دول immiscible لأن هم they don't mix. لكن مثلا water و vinegar miscible ولا immiscible؟ لو حطينا شوية water مع vinegar كده, what do you think? miscible ولا immiscible؟ محدش عارف الوتر والفينيجر؟ try it at home. miscible طبعا. correct, miscible. يعني they mix together يعني. okay. طيب. There is another yes correct يا رونا والله. okay. طيب there is another way of separation. في حاجة way of separation هي it's not very common. What do we call it? Decanting or decantation. ايه الديكانتنج او الديكانتيشن ده؟ الديكانتنج it's a way that you can separate زي بالظبط الفلتريشن. يعني it looks same like الفلتريشن اللي هو this one. بس this is another way بقول عليه decanting or decantation. يعني زي ما قلنا في الفلتريشن I was having مثلا water و mud. برضه في الديكانتنج I'm going to say برضه water و mud. exactly يا كانوا صح. I'm going to say برضه water و mud أو water و sand. بس الديكانتنج what do I mean by the word decanting? So we can separate immiscible liquid by opening the tap of separating from now. Exactly يا عليا. Exactly يا كنوز. If I'm having water with sand, okay, the water is here والsand طبعا is insoluble موجودة down. What will happen if I carefully poured the water, يعني جبت البيكر كده وبدأت أعمله pouring بالراحة يعني slowly كده. عملت carefully pouring the water out of the sand. This is called decanting or decantation. يبقى what you are doing now, I will show you now in the video. يبقى what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate water and mud or water and sand. Okay? I'm going to separate water and mud or water and sand by something called decanting or decantation. It's a very simple process. See, this beautiful lady will make it now. And then just try to like filter or something like that. So I think it's very easy. Get ad blocker for YouTube. ايه الاد بلوكر ده؟ لا I don't know ايه الاد بلوكر ده يا محمد. teach me بقى ايه موضوع الاد بلوكر ده؟ لا انا ما اعرفش ايه الاد بلوكر. My mom
Miss,
used
it's in the name. It literally just blocks ads,
really?
advertisements on your screen. Yeah, that's it.
يعني how can I get it?
There are some.
It's an extension.
There are extensions and like full browsers that have.
ايه ده بجد؟ Really? يعني you're just going after you
Yes,
write
yes.
whatever the name of the video that you want, you're going to put after it a dot and like exe and so on. You're going to write ad blocker. Really?
No,
This
miss,
is
it's
No,
just
miss,
like a
look.
download. You
Class, miss,
install
I
it.
can give it
Yeah.
to you.
okay. This is something new for me. I know and now there is you can pay and you can take it without ads. That's what I know.
No,
But
no,
I
it's
didn't-
for free.
No,
Oh,
miss,
but
it's not worth it at all.
really? They're paying? I don't know. I didn't try it before.
By paying and blocking ads, miss, it's not worth it at all. You have like tons of ad blockers on the internet. You don't need to pay.
Okay, just tell me how I can do it. Because I don't want بس to miss
Yes, I can give it to you now on Sunday.
طيب
Miss, up to
ماشي.
the period, we're going to tell you the way.
يا سلام. لا كده كتير عليا والله. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Your poor teacher. Thank you so much بجد. ربنا يخليكم يا رب والله. يعني you're so helpful. I can get it after. بجد والله كمال. Thank you so much. كمال وحمزة thank you so much بجد. الناس اللي كاتبة في الشات. يس يا كنوز بالظبط هي عاملة زي cooking rice. Exactly بالظبط. It's a very good example. الديكانتينج ماشي خلاص يا عبد الله. أنا I took انا جيت اعمل كوبي والله لقيته سوري. جيت اعمل اوكي اد بلوكر. ماشي. thank you so much. خلاص انا I will save it. I really appreciate your help. يلا let's continue. So as you see here in the decanting, if you ask what's decanting, هو بس carefully pouring the liquid out of the solid. You just do it slowly and you just pour the liquid slowly, so it removed all you removed all the water out of the sand, out the mud you have. Right. Let's take this question. This is a very important question. It's repeating many times في MCQs and the other questions. He is saying, if you are having a rock, imagine with me, if you are having a rock, with this rock, it has some sand. يعني rock طبعا for sure it has sand وكمان فيها salt. I want to separate them from each other. يعني هي الروك already فيها water وفيها قصدي sorry الروك it contains sand and it contains salt. وأنا I want to separate them from each other. What shall I do? What are the steps that I can do? Step 1, what shall I do? Good job. Bravo. Exactly. Good job. For the ones who answered in the chat box, thank you so much. Number 1, what shall I do? Number 1, you are going to... Yes, correct, Yari. Step 1, best, before I do anything, this is a rock. Can I separate a rock while it's a rock? أكيد لا. It's a very big rock. يبقى number 1, I'm going to use something called a pestle and mortar. It looks like that. مش عارفة you know it ولا. It looks like something to crush. تمام يا كنوز, correct. The pestle and mortar, we usually, this one, pestle and mortar. We usually use the pestle and mortar to crush or to make grinding للروck بتاعتي, because I cannot do it while it's الهون exactly بالظبط. To cut it into small pieces الروck. طيب يبقى number correct صح. يبقى number 1, you crush it by the pestle and mortar. طيب number 2, are you going to add water or no need? Do you need to add water or no need? Good job. You have to add water. That's true. You cannot separate them without adding water. يبقى number 1, you break it down, or you made crushing by pestle and mortar. Number 2, you have to dissolve them in water. Add water and dissolve. Number 3, what are you going to do? What do you think? Shall you start with evaporation or filtration? Good job. Filtration, of course. طبعا for sure you have to steer, you have to dissolve it for sure. Clear? يبقى you are going to do what? Number 1, you are going to do crushing. Number 2, you are going to dissolve. Number 3, you are going to do filtration. And number 4, you are going to do exactly برافو. ونمبر 4 you are going to do evaporation. طب يجي بقى مرة جاب لهم question قال لهم ال4 steps بس كان عايز يعني انتوا تعملوا arrange يعني which one is first. ف the point is انه you have to know انه I will do filtration before evaporation. Why? ممكن any of the students he can tell me مثلا لا يا مس طب ما احنا we can do evaporation first. ما احنا لو عملنا evaporation first all the water will ايه؟ Tell me. The water will evaporate. يبقى الواتر اللي احنا we added it it's going to evaporate. يبقى احنا ما عملناش حاجة. يبقى لازم الأول أعمل filtration to remove the sand الأول and then I'm going to do evaporation to remove the salt. يبقى take care. We have to do filtration first then evaporation. Easy? Any question? Okay. طيب. Still we have in this topic we have simple distillation fractional distillation chromatography. يعني still we have 3 processes. I'm going to give you simple distillation وإن شاء الله next class next Wednesday I'm going to give you fractional distillation chromatography with each others. Okay? اللي هي the last 2 processes في الtopic. Okay? طيب. Let's talk about simple distillation. Simple distillation and please بقى try to answer as much as you can past papers. هو طبعا في الnormal tuitions بتاعتي طبعا بنعمل دايما class explanation و class past papers. فانتوا بقى at least يعني since you understand the topic try to answer بقى past papers as much as you can. لأنه it's really going to make a difference يعني. These guys are the most tricky. Yes somehow. Simple distillation بقى. Yes يا كنوز that's true. ايه بقى simple distillation? If I was having برضه water و salt بس this time I don't need the salt بقى as evaporation. لا. What is the substance I'm interested in? I'm interested in water not the salt. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the salty water. I will start heating them. What will happen once you start heating? Who will evaporate or who will remain?
The water will evaporate and salts will remain.
Exactly. Water will evaporate with salt will remain. But I said I need the water. I don't need the salt. So how I can get the water? I don't need the salt. What shall I do? I'm going to...
مس عكس combustion.
You mean قصدك عكس evaporation? Combustion? Why combustion? No, there's no need for the thermometer. No need. What I'm going to do? I started heating. Yes. No need. It was best there in the picture. Like I'm not going to use it. Once I heat the water, all the water will evaporate. Salt will remain. طب ما هو أنا عايزة الwater. والwater دلوقتي it's in the form of a vapor. طب ما I need it. يبقى هعمل إيه? I'm going to put a condenser. What does this condenser do? The condenser is going to condense all the water vapor and give it out in the form of water. Pure water as a liquid water. يبقى this means in just the water vapor will come out. I don't want the water in a form of vapor يا ملوك. يبقى what shall I do? I'm going to do what يا يويا? I'm going to cool the water. I'm going to condense the water to take it on the other side in the form of a liquid by the condenser. Exactly, that's true, bro. Easy? طيب, what do I call the pure water in this case? Shall I call it filtrate or shall I call it a distillate? Since I'm doing simple distillation, what do you think? You can tell me. Thank you, Rona. Rona حطت لكم الchat group تاني.
Miss, please scan the question again.
I'm saying the water after I finish the distillation, what do we call it? The water.
Distillated water.
Yes, I mean this exactly. I'm going to say it's called distillate. I'm not going to call it filtrate بقى. You got the point? I'm not going to call it a filtrate. لا, I'm going to call it a distillate. Why? Because I'm doing here distillation. لما عملت filtration سميتها filtrate. بس here I'm going to call it a distillate. Okay? Easy? طيب, let's continue. What about this one? الكوندنسر بقى. الquestions اللي بتيجي دايما هنا في الكوندنسر. Here there is water. Here you have to put water in and out. Why should you put water in and out? Why should I put water in and out? بصوا بقى. The point is the condenser by time is going to be hot by time. I have to cool it لأنه عمال يدخل له هنا hot vapor hot vapor hot vapor. I have to cool it. فهعمل إيه عشان أخليه يبقى cool ما يبصش. What shall I do? I'm going to put all the time here water. يعني I'm going to put water from here, cold water. طب الwater دي what will happen to this water? الwater will rotate كده around the condenser. هتلف حوالين الكوندنسر وتعمل له cooling down. And then at the end it will come out from here. يبقى this water, what does this water do? The water is going بس to cool the vapor أو to cool the condenser. It's not going to go inside. هي بس بتعمل cooling للكوندنسر. اوكي يس يا كنوز فعلا هو الليبلنج I told you this before usually الليبلنج بتاع الان واوت ده كتير يعني all the time هنلاقي الكويستشن ده دايما بيديني ارو هنا ويقول لي ليبل these dots وهنا برضه ليبل فهقول له هنا ان اول ما الاقي الارو هنا the inside I'm going to say water in وhere I'm going to say water out. If he asks me what's this I'm going to say a condenser. طيب why should I put the water in to cool the condenser from here? Why not from here? If you put it from here, well, this was one time a question for past papers. If you put the water from here يا أروى, it's going to fall. It's not going to cool the condenser. نتيجة الجرافيتي it's going to fall. That's why I usually pump كده water from here فتعمل cooling للcondenser that it will be removed from here. This means and it's going to cool down the condenser by time. As I told you, yes يا أيوي. As I told you, this water is not going to go inside. لا هي بتعمل بس cooling للcondenser from outside. It's not going to go inside. Easy? Yes يا محمد, that's true. Exactly. Any question? Easy? Okay. Next class إن شاء الله I'm going to show you the fractional distillation. I will show you the video كمان for fractional distillation والchromatography. Okay, that's great. إن شاء الله الفراكشن distillation والchromatography I'm going to talk about the solubility. This is the last part في topic 2 إن شاء الله. We are going to finish it next class إن شاء الله topic 2. ورuna she put again the group. Thank you يا رونا والله. Miss don't end so we can help you. حاضر يا محمد I'm not going to end. حاضر. Thank you so much. In extension for ad blockers. ما هم مش خلاص اللي انتوا بعتوه لي هو ده ولا في حاجة تانية؟
ما حدش بعت حاجة أصلا.
لا في حد
أنا بعت المس لينك.
في حد بعت
Chrome
لي
extension.
يعني والله مش عارفة أقول لكم إيه. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Miss, I
Can
really
you just
enjoyed
end the
today's.
recording?
Oh yes, I'm going to end it. حاضر. Thank you for the George. حبيبتي والله you are Georges. Thank you so much. You're most welcome والله ربنا يخليك يا رب. يعني if you enjoy the class فيعني it's an honor بجد يعني.